Alright, I'm getting loaded into the game. Some guys were asking about doing iron sights and how you do that in VR. So I'm going to do that real quick. I've set up it in quick missions. Got some IL2s chasing after allied bird up high, C-47. So you know, it's not a big deal. So we're going to get started here in the game. Now I can't show you both lenses because it would be a split screen. So this is just one lens of my VR. I've set the internals world view to 119%. You want to do it from 116 to 120. The circle should be about 22 millimeters, and you want the reflective sight to be perfectly gold when you're zeroed in on it, and you can F10 to lock your view and get all that. But mainly we're going to be focusing on this little guy over here. What does that do? It's not just for looks, it works. So I'm going to go ahead and line these guys up and show you how that works. Let's get turned around here. I'm going to leave the icons on just so we can see distance on the first one. I will be turning icons off later. The game is a lot smoother and cleaner without me recording, and the clarity is much better. I'm also losing FPS because I got icons on, so this is causing a little bit. They're chasing a guy in outer space. So here we come around. Get these guys lined up. Now the IL2 is not going to go down like another plane. If this had been a lighter plane, a P-38 or something like that, it would just be one shot, you're gone. So remember that. I can hit these about 800 to 900 meters consistently. That's my that's what I like to do. It's a long snipe, and I'm going to be using the German rifle, I like to call it. I'd love, if anybody knows the German word for this little setup, let me know, but this little iron sight they put on here is pretty awesome. Low tech, high result, what we like to say. And the way that the reflective sight, and the way it lines up into the middle, you're going to be using the front of the gun sight there in the reflective and lining up the metal. And you want that black line, just like on a pistol shoot, to line into the center, and that black dot now is going to put where the rounds go. Boom. Alright, I'm a little off because I'm out of focus, but that's alright. And we're too close. Jeez. Alright, you can still do it up close, but I don't recommend that. It's not what it's meant for, but if you got that set and you're in VR, it's not that hard to just slide over and use it as you're going by. We're going to just blow through this, and this is just too close. But yeah, I could put it right where I want it. Now I hit there on the center, get that tail off. And goodbye. Right in the motor, yep. So now I'm going to do a long shot because I was too hot coming in on these guys. This is one where you're coming in, you got to really get your speed. It's not about just screaming in at high speed. They're not going anywhere faster. If their guns are going to light you up, you're going to want to hit them at a longer range. You actually kill the gunners too pretty easily. But with the new damage model, you're slowing them down, and they're going to start closing up on you. So this is going to be slow them down, so now you can catch them. Say an A20 you were behind, and he's going to outrun you, but you got the bounce, so you need to slow him down. So here we're going to line them up. We're going to go just about 800 meters. That's what I want to go for. 800 meters is when the wings on these bombers fill that circle. So I'm starting to see it fill in. That's 1,000. I can hit them at 1,000 actually. Done it. Oh, just so close. Alright. There's 800, so I'm going to open up and I'll be hitting them here. It'll be a lag time from the shot because it's actually traveling 800 meters. So, you'll see black smoke here in a sec. Boom, got him. So it's like, I've already hit them, and now I'm going to close in. We're getting closer, 500 meters, 600, you know, and now at this point I would just be peppering. And I'm zoomed in. Again, another thing I would be doing is zooming in on this, but for recording purposes, I'm not just, so this would be a lot larger in my eyesight, you know, what I'm seeing in VR. It's pretty tightened up here in one eye because it's focusing in that one point. The other eye is giving me the full vision, just like you would get in looking down a rifle. So you're not getting the full effect I am, and you're seeing me do it, and this is just for the demonstration and so people understand what I'm doing. You could probably do this on a flat screen with a snap lock and set that up, and then just snap into that particular view as one of your optional like head views, like left, look up, look down kind of thing. So you could have that, but and then just zoom from there, you know. So that's how that works, and a lot of people don't know that. It was historical, and golf clap to the IL2 team for being sticklers to what what the Germans were building and the detail. Man, I mean, the detail is just phenomenal, guys. I really love it. And you can do it from underneath like a duck. Yeah, so much fun. All right, so classic. We should always finish this off like every good formation is getting strafed by the enemy. And if you get target fixated and you're trying to get in too close, or a piece of their plane comes off, like watch this, I'm gonna hit him in the cockpit, and boom, he blows up. Oh, took my engine. Alright, let's do the next plane. I'm gonna show you guys the 262, no gun sight shooting. Kentucky windage 101. So yeah, if you grew up hunting and shooting, and you love that, and you can actually do that, let me show you what that equals in the real world for video games. Let's get the 262. A lot of talk about a leap in science here. We gotta go ahead and set up the plane though. So I may not use the gyro sight here. I'm gonna demo gyro sight on the next one at 51. But this is just get rid of the weight. There we go. And let's pick a nice skin. Alright, same thing, this time just using eyesight. So if you can't do this right off the top, or it takes a little practice, or it comes natural for you, then I'm happy that you learned this method. But I've been playing this game since the original IL2, so that would put me close to 18 to 20 years, I would think, with playing this game. So remember that you're dealing with millions of flight hours, probably 100,000 flight hours, to be honest, in that period of time. Alright, here we go. And I still suck, because I never went to fighter pilot school. Homeschooled. Alright, here we go. Yeah, they are. I'm actually just looking behind me, one-to-one. I don't use Neck Saver app. So I parked the gun sight, and I've got my gun set so I can just fire 2 of them at a time, the top and the bottom, which is something you can do by guns 1 and 2. So play around with that, learn how to set that up. I'm going to turn I don't like the icons. It's one, it would mess up my shot, and I would never do this with icons on, so I'll turn this off. Alright, here we go. So this is going to be what I like to call the classic backwoods good old boy shooting. Alright, goodbye icons. Yeah, the frame rate gets killed when I'm recording. It's normally 90. Alright. Still playable at 67 though. It's smooth enough for me to do. It's a little jittery in the recording, but I don't see that. And I got a really nice depth. So I'm gonna hit the tail bomber there. Goodbye. Yeah, it's 400. Actually, I don't even think I reset my. Yeah, that's 420 meters. Because that's what I've been using pretty much forever. I started it as a joke, and then it just became a thing. But mainly it was also the deflection 400 to 500. I found 420, which is actually the right number, but it is a joke to me. I think it's funny. Alright, so now I'm going to show you what the sight is for, and the sight for me is sniping. I'm going to be hitting the guys from about 800 to 900 meters now. And I do that, I don't know if you guys were ever in the military, but at M203 shooting, I was pretty much unhuman with it, but I think it's from shooting basketballs, and I did a lot of archery. So here we go, I'm lining it up just like I would an M203 grenade launcher. And I'm just gonna lob the round in on them like I'm gonna plug a truck or something with a grenade. Here we go. Or a shotgun. This would be very similar if you guys have ever used a shotgun. But boom, That was about 800 meters with a 108. And then of course I'll just open up normal with all 4 guns. He's gone, and don't, yeah, ran. I think I took his wing and he flipped. That happened that quick because a piece of the plane came up, and 262s don't like hitting stuff at 700 kilometers an hour. And now I'll show you guys the P51 with the gyro sights. A lot of you don't understand how to use it, and it's really just math. Everything in the game is set to meters because of course they're Euro and Euro thinks meters. But Allies, we think yards and feet. And in the P51 it is a yards gun sight. They called it the Ace Maker for a reason, because once I show you how to use it, it almost, you know, you understand why it's called an Ace Maker. And let's take one of the new skins here. Boom. Now this is all VR stuff. I know you can do this in flat screen, but this is primarily I'm focusing on what you're doing in VR because of the third dimension, and if any of you guys know how to shoot, it makes a big difference. I use about 250 meters on the 50 cals because of the wing conversions. You want that to be tight in the nose. It's not about high deflection shooting because you're already getting the high deflection shot with the 50. It's a lighter round. And you're not sniping with 50 cals, you're spraying them like a hose. That's high caliber rounds you sniper. Let this load up. Alright. Beautiful new map, by the way, guys. English Canal is great, having this all over beautiful France. So we'll be going at it. Now the IL2 is probably not the best demo for 50 cals because it's going to make a lot of people triggered, but it's an IL2 and I still can shoot them down, and I don't want to shoot them down. I just want to show you they're clay pigeons basically. I want to hit them. So I'm setting up my gun sight. It's 273 yards to 250 meters. If you don't know that, just ask Google. So whatever your set is, just say how many meters to yards, and you know, you don't have to think about it. Or you can learn to do some math. Alright. And then this other portion is going to be the range. You use same settings as the bombers, increase, decrease range gun sights, and then the other one sets the wingspan. It's about 50 meters on these guys, 50 yards, so probably a little too long, but I'm going to set it up and I'm going to come in on these guys. Let's get over the top of them. Now I can see this perfectly clear and in the third dimension, like if you're in a real airplane, but you guys don't see that on the recorded version because it's only one eye giving you a 2D perspective. So in the 3D perspective, it's much better. So let's get this pipper lined up. Again, it's not as clear, and I see that perfectly in my in the VR. But let's zoom in. So this is about 800 meters. I could tell because I'm full zoom. And then we're just going to spray the hose as we go by and just hit them mainly in the cockpit. I'm using the dot to get the pilot, and then roll away. Don't get hit. But that's mainly the one. So everyone knows the gyro stuff. You can play with the different stuff. You can actually lock them down. You make them a straight shot. Another trick is you can zoom it all the way up to 1,000 meters and set it to the smallest reticle, and then you got basically a laser pointer at the tip of your nose, and just use that laser pointer in Kentucky windage from there. But if you want to learn to use the gun sight, I recommend learning it. It's better than the fixed. Yeah, you know, if you're needing the fixed to just aim your guns, you know, maybe you just need a little more time in the practice room. Really, I don't need the gun sights. But this helps a lot when I'm getting it accurate. I want to hit the motor, I want to hit the tail. I'm trying to chop that rear tail off because that is the weak spot on that plane. You need to know the weak spots on the planes, and if you don't fly them, then go shoot them down just make them on your team as the secondary squad and shoot them. And get used to what does the damage on different calibers. And we got a ram for fun, right? Because every bomber group needs a leader. Oh, yeah. Alright guys, if you have any other questions or you have any other tricks in VR, let me know and share that with the community. Hope you enjoy.